get them on.
What's up, people of YouTube? This is Prolix Enigma here, and this is going to be a little bit of a different best class setups of COD Ghost for a few different reasons. As you can see on screen, I am doing the Vector today, but this is not just one class. I have, give or take, 2 or 3 class setups for you, depending on how you look at this. And I'm going to go through and give a little bit of analysis on each class and each weapon with those attachments on it. And I will tell you what the bonuses and negative sides are to it. And I have a little bit of gameplay at the very, very end for you guys to watch and see how I played with this stuff on it, so you can decide whether or not you like it and if you want to use it on one of your classes. And I started using the Vector a little bit more recently once I decided that I was going to do the next video with the Vector. I started using it a little bit more, and it has now become one of my permanent class setups. So I really, really recommend you guys to try out what I say in this video, at least one of these classes, and or all of them, until you see what you really are comfortable with. A lot of it can depend on your accuracy and how well you can, cope with your situations. So let's hop right into these class setups. As you can see on screen, the first class setup that I have is the Vector with rapid fire and a suppressor. And a lot of you guys might be thinking, why would you put rapid fire on this? It's kind of a, it increases the recoil, and that can make your aim off and everything else. But I'll go a little more in depth with the recoil stuff a little later. But basically that's where we're at this point. And you can see I have the same secondary, the P226 with the muzzle brake, and I have the same perks, and I have the same kill streaks strike package thing. Those two can be altered in any which way. I do recommend that you use steady aim because, especially with this class setup, because it gets kind of hard to aim at times when you're, ADSing, especially if you have bad accuracy and you're spraying all over the place. So I really recommend you use this. Anyway, so on to the next one. The next one is going to be the grip with the muzzle brake, and this class I really liked. It was nice because, also I'll explain a little bit more about that shortly, but it was nice because it was just kind of like a regular gun. It was like a rig gun, and you could still do really, really well with it, and you could aim with it, and you could kind of alter how you wanted to shoot. It did kill really, really quickly, but it was accurate. I found that I could be really, really accurate with this weapon, especially in my close quarters combat situations, and it was nice because I didn't have to worry about whether or not I was going to lose my gunfight as often with other guns. Like, for example, when I use the MTAR, it's kind of an iffy situation. Like, I can either get shot and be really, really red, or I'll win my gunfight. And so it changes. But with the Vector, I find myself, especially with this class setup, that if I run it, I can be pretty confident in what I'm doing at medium, short, and long range. I can pick people off at long range just burst firing this weapon. So that's why I recommend this class setup if you're that type of a player at all ranges. The next class setup is really, really sketchy for me, but I figured that some people out there who watch this video could probably get some use out of this, and it is with the red dot and the grip. So I don't like this class setup because I don't have very good accuracy. And you're probably thinking, what? If you don't have accuracy, why are you using suppressor and rapid fire on one of your classes? Well, I'll explain that a little later too. But I don't like this class because, mainly because of how much bounce there is with the red dot. So it's just like the previous class with the muzzle brake and the foregrip, but when you're using this class setup, it tends to, I don't know if any of you guys remember the Black Ops 1 AK-47 with the red dot on it. It bounced a whole lot, and that's what that reminds me of. And I can't stay on target, and I can't, lock on as easily. So I prefer no sights with this gun whatsoever. You'll have a much better, if you have bad accuracy, you'll have a much better time with the gun. And that's what I recommend you doing if you have, shaky accuracy like I do. Okay, so now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to show you the ADS and hipfire spreads of this weapon with these different class setups and attachments. I'm going to show you the benefits and the not so beneficial parts of each class with these attachments. Okay, so here we are, and we have the hipfire spread of the Vector with the muzzle brake and grip, red dot and grip, and suppressor with rapid fire. The one on the far right and is coded in yellow is the suppressor with rapid fire. The blue is the red dot with grip, which is also in the middle, and the red is the muzzle brake with grip, which is on your far left. Now, The area that is coded in that color is the range in which it shot from the same exact spot that I was standing when I tested this weapon out, and this is what I got. So you're probably looking at the one with the suppressor with rapid fire and thinking, oh my goodness, that is so absolutely horrible. But you have to remember that I was not standing close enough to the board in order for it to be considered a, what do you want to call it? Considered a Hipfire type situation. Normally in that distance, I think you would ADS, and which is a really good thing. And I'll explain to you when I get to the ADS part of this, I will explain to you why that is good. Now, the one in the middle is the red dot with grip, and you're probably thinking, that is the tightest spread for Hipfire. Why wouldn't you use that? And this really, really, really amazes me because they're the same exact perks and same everything, but the muzzle brake with grip and the red dot with grip are almost the exact same, aren't the exact same range. If you look, the muzzle brake goes up a little higher. It's not as tight of a spread from hip, and the red dot is. So when I played with the red dot, I found that hip firing with it was a lot more effective than aiming down sights with it. And I don't know how the red dot manages to affect the accuracy of the weapon at hip fire, but it does. And the least effective one out of these three is obviously the Hipfire with the suppressor and rapid fire because of the range I was standing. But if you were closer, it would be almost an instant death. But I think most people have that instinct to just ADS right away and take care of the job there. So I will explain the ADS here in a second. But the muzzle brake with grip was probably one of the best, or one of the least beneficial ones on Hipfire just because of its kind of angle, but if I were you, I would go with muzzle brake and grip and red dot if you plan on hip firing a lot with these weapons. ADSing is a different story. Again, I will explain that, and I will tell you which ones I like to use the most, and I will have gameplay of 2 of these class setups at the end. Moving on to ADS. Okay, so we're here with ADS, and as you see on the far right-hand side is suppressor with rapid fire, and that is the yellow coded one, and I shot them all from this distance. And the muzzle brake with grip is the red, and the red dot with grip is the blue. Now again, you see that the suppressor with rapid fire is a little bit taller. It rises because it goes up and to the right a little bit, but that's not something you really need to worry about because when you're shooting with the suppressor and rapid fire, the characters in the game take the same amount of bullets to die as any of the other ones, unless of course you have like a ballistic vest and whatnot on. So you're putting the same amount of bullets into the person that you need to kill, but the bullets are getting there faster. You're shooting more bullets out at a time, which means that the person's going to die faster because you're hitting them with more bullets at one time than usual. So that's a full clip that I unloaded into that board. So you have to think that you're never going to shoot that high up. As long as you can get on target for the first couple seconds or even milliseconds, then you'll be fine because that person will be dead quickly. You'll win a lot of your gunfights. Just stating this right now, my favorite class setup to use with this weapon is the suppressor with rapid fire. And I have absolutely horrible accuracy. So that should just tell you that you don't have to have amazing accuracy to use this weapon. You just have to know how to lock on the target at the start of the gunfight and you'll be fine. I find myself losing my gunfights because of other people shooting at me and I just get knocked off target. So this was a really, really good class setup for me to use. It might be different for you. You might like the red dot or the muzzle brake. I mean, I like the muzzle brake. That was another one that I like using, but the red dot was not so much something I enjoyed using just because of the bounce like I had explained. So the muzzle brake with grip and the red dot with grip were very, very similar. There was almost no difference in between them, so you could use those however you wanted, but this all goes back to the aiming situation. Like I had said, my aiming is really bad, so when I ADS'd with the red dot sight, it bounced so much that when I got shot, it bounced even more. I got off target and I died, lost my gunfight. With the muzzle brake, that didn't happen. I was still able to win my gunfights, but I lost some too. But I was still really, really confident in my ability to win them. So basically, if you have good accuracy, any one of those would work well for you. You can alter your perk setups and all that stuff later on. So that's pretty much what I have for that. Anyways, guys, we're going to move on into the video portion of this, and I will tell you just a little bit of how you should play, the playstyle that you should have when using this gun. And it's kind of different depending on the class setup that you are using. Okay, guys, I want you to watch this really quickly. I started getting shot at, and right away I turned and I was able to kill that guy while drop shotting because this is the class that I was running rapid fire and suppressor. The reason why I was able to drop shot and kill him so fast is because of the rapid fire. I was able to get my shot on within the first few seconds, and that made all the difference. That made the killing hit a lot faster. So I didn't have to spray and spray and spray and spray and get knocked off target. It was like same amount of bullets, like I had said earlier, it was the same amount of bullets to kill him, but I was able to kill him faster because it was putting more bullets down range at one time. Now, when you're using this gun, as you will see, I'm going to be doing a little bit of hip firing, but that is only when I'm really, really close to the person, like I just did over there by the bar. You'll see a lot of ADSing and quick kills. So I want you to think, when you're watching this, I want you to think how fast he died compared to when I do the next video with the muzzle brake, how quick they die. It's almost the same, but that everybody knows who plays Call of Duty a lot that split second can make all the difference in Call of Duty. That split millisecond time can decide whether or not you're going to live or die, win your gunfight, capture a flag, whatever. The timing, it's all about time, and it's all about, the consistency of stuff, and it's just, that is what really, really matters. So think about that when you're deciding what class you want to use. Like I said, I personally recommend using this class setup because it works the best for me. But this class setup is only good on small maps. It's not something that you can do on a big map because you're going to get into a lot, bigger, you're going to get into a lot longer distance engagements, kind of. I mean, you obviously know that you're going to get in longer gun range engagements and things like that, but it's not going to work out well because of the rapid fire. You're going to have to, it's going to take a little bit longer to lock on a target. You're going to be shooting a little bit more. It's going to be harder to hit the person, and that's going to really throw you off. So if you're going to be using this gun on a bigger map and playing with it on a bigger map, you want to use either the red dot or the muzzle brake with grip, because you can win those long range gunfights if you're good with the red dot. I personally am not on this weapon anyway, and you're going to win more of your engagements. So let that, sink in. Think about that. Maybe if you have to make two, if you're on Xbox, you can make two classes because you have 10 now. But you can make two classes with it and, screw around until you find what you like best. Anyway, so when you're using this gun, you want to be rushing a lot. I feel like no matter what class setup you have on it, you want to be rushy. More so with the suppressor and stuff, but it's always nice to just grind out. It's nice to just push their spawns, because if they get into a gunfight with you, more than likely they're not going to win. Unless they kill you from behind or they're a long ways away and you have this gun, then they're probably not going to win as long as you can stay on target. So that is a really, really good way to play with this weapon, as long as you can just control the engagement. I say that a lot when I make videos. You want to control the engagement. You don't want to let them get away from you. You don't want them to, make you chase them. You want to use your head when you're playing. Anyways, guys, so let's move on into the next one. Okay, guys, here we are with the muzzle brake and grip attachments on the Vector, and in this gameplay, you're going to see a lot less rushing. It's going to be somewhat defensive, not too defensive, not like I'm using an assault rifle or, a sniper rifle, but it's going to be somewhat defensive. You're going to see a lot of watching my corners, controlling a particular, quarter of the map, and making sure that nobody can get through. Another really, really good way to play with this gun, because sometimes you can get off target with it if you're not very good with aiming, is to jump shot and drop shot. That might benefit you or hurt you. It can hurt me at times. Sometimes I can get off with my aiming when I drop shot, because I drop shot a lot. I used to jump shot in Black Ops 2 quite a bit, but I still drop shotted the most. And the reason why I changed from jump shotting to drop shotting is because of all the mantling stuff in here. It can screw you up. So pick one of those and see which one you can use the most, and that might benefit you with your accuracy a little bit, especially with the suppressor and rapid fire one. But with the muzzle brake one, you're going to see me using my drop shot and jump shot a few times in here, just to make sure that they can't, they're not expecting what I'm going to do. You can take a lot of long range gunfights like that right there. I should have died. Look at how red my screen is, and he had shots on me first, but I was able to drop shot. He didn't expect it. And the gun is pretty accurate, so I was able to pick him off at long range. I believe I die right here. I'm not really sure. But that long range engagement, if he would have just been peeked out a little bit more, I would have killed him. And with the MTAR, I probably wouldn't have been able to win that gunfight right away. And with the suppressor and rapid fire, I definitely wouldn't have been able to win that gunfight. So it definitely shows the difference between the ranges in which I can win gunfights. So here in a second, I want you to watch how long it takes me to kill somebody. Remember what I said just a little bit ago, that you need to pay attention to how long it takes somebody and with the suppressor and rapid fire to die compared to the foregrip and muzzle brake. Well, there's going to be a really, really good example of that here coming up in a second. So basically what you want to do at all times when using this gun is make sure that you are setting up the engagement to your advantage. You're going to hear me say that a lot in these videos, and that's because no matter what gun you're using, no matter what class you're using, you want the advantage set up to your best. You don't want to have to take that chance. You don't want to have to risk dying. You want to win your gunfights no matter what. So the main way to do that is play smart and don't, let them get the upper hand. So right here, watch how fast he died. Okay, you see how fast he died? Now, if you want, you can go back, at the end of the video, you can go back to the suppressor and rapid fire, and you can see how fast they died in the other one. And there's a pretty big difference. You can tell that with the suppressor and rapid fire, they were dying rather quickly compared to this one. Now, it's really good because if you're accurate, you shouldn't have a problem. And this class setup is really accurate because of the grip. And, the muzzle brake adds damage. So they're almost the same thing. They're pretty close class setups, but one is, it's average or above average at all ranges, and then one is really good at short ranges and decent at medium ranges. So you just kind of have to decide what you're going to use it for. Anyways, so that is pretty much all I have to say about these two classes. Now it is up to you guys to decide which ones you like best. I did not have red dot gameplay because I could not get a gameplay with the red dot. It was that bad. It dropped my kill to death ratio by 0.5, so I had to stop using it. I could not get gameplay for nothing. So I decided to just show you guys this, show you guys the different Hipfire spreads and ADS spreads, and I hope you liked the video. It took me a little while to put together, but I think it was worth it. Anyways, guys, Twitter and Facebook links will be down in the description. The video you will see on screen will be my most recent video that I made. If you have not seen it, please click it. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what you guys think about the classes and which ones you use, which ones you're going to use, and the effects that they had on you while playing in the game. Anyways, guys, deuces.
Get 'em all.